When the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills cameras stopped rolling and the lights dimmed, a different kind of heartbreak unfolded inside the Richards-Umansky home. Kyle Richards, the polished Beverly Hills icon, had always been known for her poise, for her ability to keep composure even when her world was spinning. But when she broke down during an appearance last month, fans knew something was different this time. This wasn't a staged Housewives meltdown or a moment made for ratings. It was raw, painful, and deeply human. Kyle was mourning. She wasn't mourning fame, fortune, or even another friendship fallout, but the quiet loss of something that had been the heartbeat of her family, their beloved dog, Luna. The quiet heart of their home. Luna wasn't just a pet. She'd been there through it all, from the early days of Kyle and Mauricio's marriage to the nights when their daughters cried, to the years when life felt too heavy. She was family. When Kyle began the story live on air, her voice wavered. She said softly, "I thought I was ready to talk about this, but I'm not." Mauricio reached for her hand as she tried to continue. The world had seen them argue, laugh, and rebuild, but this was different. This was grief stripped bare. Luna, their eldest rescue, had fallen ill months prior. What began as lethargy soon turned into a battle with neurological complications and dehydration. Despite multiple visits to specialists, her health declined rapidly. Kyle described the moment they realized it was time to let go. "It was the hardest decision we've ever had to make as a couple. She wasn't just a dog. She was our little heartbeat. She raised our girls with us." Mauricio nodded silently beside her. His eyes glistened, though he didn't speak for several moments. Finally, he said quietly, "Only people who've loved an animal like that will understand. A love tested by grief. It's strange how grief sneaks into places you thought were strong." Mauricio and Kyle had faced years of pressure, the constant media scrutiny, whispers of marital strain, endless speculation about their private life. But nothing had quite prepared them for the silence of their home after Luna was gone. "She was everywhere," Kyle said. "You wake up and think you hear her pause. You look down and expect her to be there. And when she's not, it's unbearable." Their daughters felt it too. Portia sobbed for days. Alexia tried to keep busy, cleaning Luna's bed, folding blankets she couldn't bear to throw away. Farah and Safia stopped by the house more often, making sure their mom didn't feel alone. "It's the kind of loss people don't talk about," Mauricio said later, "but it cuts deep." The grief became a mirror, forcing them to face their own fragility, their own emotional distance. In some strange way, Luna's absence revealed how much they'd been holding inside. A moment that shook the audience. During that emotional broadcast, something remarkable happened. As Kyle's voice broke, she tried to apologize to the audience. "I'm sorry, I know there are people dealing with worse things. I shouldn't cry on camera over this," she said through tears. But Mauricio stopped her. "You have every right to cry," he said. "Grief doesn't have to be compared. It just is." It was an unscripted, sincere exchange, the kind that no Bravo producer could manufacture. The audience in the studio went silent, some wiping their own eyes. Kyle smiled weakly through tears. She was so weird she laughed. She hated being kissed. "But last night, before we said goodbye, I kissed her nose about 1,000 times." Mauricio smiled back. "She finally let you." They both laughed softly, the kind of laughter that comes when words have run out. The dog who held the family together. Fans who followed Kyle on social media knew Luna well. She'd appeared in countless photos, perched beside Mauricio in real estate promo shots, lounging beside Portia during homework, occasionally stealing food from the table during holiday dinners. In a world of designer handbags and champagne brunches, Luna had been the reminder that the simplest things, a wagging tail, a loving nuzzle, are what make a home. Sometimes she was more family than anyone, Kyle admitted in one interview. She never judged, never fought, never left. Mauricio added, "She saw us through every chapter. The good, the bad, the Beverly Hills drama, everything." When the news of Luna's passing spread, neighbors and friends began stopping by. One of their assistants said even the mail carrier came to the door in tears. Luna was the unofficial neighborhood greeter, always waiting by the gate. "She belonged to everyone," Kyle said softly. "She was our dog, but she had her own little fan club." Finding meaning in mourning. After the episode aired, messages poured in from viewers across the country. Thousands of fans shared their own stories of losing a beloved pet. Some wrote about the pain of that final goodbye, others about how a new rescue had helped them heal. But the theme was the same: shared grief and shared love. Kyle later posted on Instagram, "I didn't expect to cry like that on air, but maybe it's okay. Maybe we need to talk more about the kind of love that doesn't get headlines, the quiet, everyday love. Thank you for letting me share Luna with you." The comments were flooded with hearts, candle emojis, and stories of viewers who felt seen for the first time. Even Bravo's official account reposted the clip with the caption, "Sometimes real life is the most real reality TV there is. The unseen toll and the healing." But behind the outpouring of support, there was also reflection, especially for Mauricio and Kyle. Grief became a strange kind of bridge between them. In the past year, tabloids had speculated endlessly about their marriage. Were they separating? Was Kyle secretly seeing someone new? Was Mauricio living apart? Yet through the tears, fans witnessed something more intimate: two people rediscovering their shared heart. Mauricio admitted later, "We've had our differences, but in moments like this, everything else fades. It reminds you why you built a life together in the first place." They began spending quieter evenings at home, cooking dinner, talking about the past, reminiscing about Luna's first day with them. Kyle said, "Grief strips everything away. You realize what matters. It's not the show or the headlines. It's the people and the creatures who love you unconditionally." The symbolism of goodbye. Luna's passing became something more profound than a single loss. It became a metaphor for the life Kyle and Mauricio had built, full of loyalty, imperfection, and endurance. In one interview, Kyle reflected, "Luna reminded me that love is simple. It doesn't need to be perfect to be real. I think I forgot that for a while." And for Mauricio, it reignited a softer side of himself that fame had long demanded he suppress. "You get caught up chasing success," he said. "But at the end of the day, you realize none of it replaces love, the kind that sits beside you even when you're broken." Fans react and reflect. Clips of Kyle crying went viral almost instantly. Fans called it the most human moment in RHOBH history. One tweet read, "Kyle Richards crying over her dog hit harder than any Housewives fight. That's what real love looks like." Others praised Mauricio's quiet empathy, calling it the version of him we never see on camera. The outpouring of compassion reminded viewers that even the most glamorous people experience grief like everyone else. It wasn't a headline, it was healing. What loss teaches about love. As weeks passed, Kyle began to smile again. In one heartfelt Instagram post, she shared a picture of a small paw print in clay. The caption read simply, "Forever my girl." She later admitted that she and Mauricio weren't ready for another dog yet, but the house didn't feel the same. "The quiet feels different now," she said. "But maybe that's what love does. It leaves echoes." For a family whose lives have been documented for over a decade, this quiet chapter, filled not with parties, drama, or scandals, but with tears, reflection, and love, may be the most meaningful of all. The larger message. What Kyle and Mauricio showed the world that day wasn't about fame, or even about loss. It was about authenticity, the courage to grieve publicly, to admit vulnerability, to remind others that it's okay to not be okay. Their tears reminded us that even behind designer gowns and sold-out listings, There are hearts that break just like ours. It's easy to forget that reality TV stars are human. But that morning, as Kyle's voice trembled and Mauricio's hand found hers, it was impossible to ignore. A final goodbye and a new beginning. Toward the end of that emotional episode, Kyle looked directly into the camera and whispered, "We really loved her. She made us better." And perhaps that's the lesson. Love, whether between people or with a loyal four-legged friend, always changes us. It softens us, humbles us, and reminds us that connection is what makes life worth living. As Kyle wiped her tears, Mauricio smiled gently and said, "We'll get through this, together." That simple phrase, spoken quietly on live television, carried more weight than any dramatic reunion ever could. Because in that moment, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills became not about diamonds or drama, but about something real.